So our friend Alicia is headed off to Australia for further studies and we are going to send her off today. And I've yet to finish my vlog. Oh my god. The SkyTrain station. I remember I used to be damn excited about this when I was a kid. They were right halfway, then the train will just like zoom extra speed so that you can reach the next terminal in time. Woo!
She want take photo. It's damn short, I just realised.
You can just find the perfect area to just show it properly. You can just nice. Are you sure this is alright? The size.
Perfect.
Where for you one?
Huh? 倾家荡产.
Really ah?
Hopefully you can fit and hopefully it will keep you warm. Thank you.
Some unboxing video.
Hey guys, unboxing for this week.
What the fuck?
My dear Coco bought me Uniqlo things. She might not have lunch to eat tomorrow, guys. Have lah.
Cafe Amazon. So it's highly raved about.
Yeah, in Thailand lah.
But why do you like suddenly want to drink it? Is it recently Singaporeans all start to rave about it?
No, I just like the coffee. I hope Singapore one will be as good as Thailand one lah. It's always seen at like petrol station.
But petrol station food don't really have a good reputation eh.
No, but Thailand one damn dope one. They got like sausages all that.
Cafe Amazon, yeah. The food and the price looks quite value for money.
I think around Starbucks price. Yeah, it's Starbucks, but
No, the coffee is cheaper.
yeah, the drink is cheaper, but the food is around Starbucks.
Yeah. Even the chair is in theme. And for dinner, just gonna wait till the hype is down to order A&W. Nobody. Okay, just done with my first meal. Some of my parcels just came in with the clothes that I ordered. But everything just seems to be too big for me. Oh my gosh. Every company has their own cut in clothing. And I gotta return everything. Probably gonna reorder later on after gym. We'll see how it goes. As I'm on my way to the gym, I just received a text from my friend Leon. Most of you guys should know him as Inquisitive, the DJ. Looks like we're gonna have a gym buddy today. Hey!
Asian gangsters It's my dad.
Okay.
You say you bought now?
Same lah. Still the corner one. Wow. It's the best way to shoot routine.
So how much time you spend doing your video, man?
Actually is at first the first video was like 9 hours.
Actually after a while you get the flow, right?
Then now it's like maybe 3 hours, 2 hours. Yeah.
I'm doing what do you call that? Oh, I just downloaded all the tutorials.
Y3.
Tutorials.
You doing tutorials?
Yeah, tutorial videos. Like I will just dissect like I say, hey, your Blackpink remix how to do, then just show them we get a lot of views on man.
It's like Moon Boy.
Yeah. Right.
Okay, so I was just going about my day, making music, reading, going to the gym, managing my event and my own artist profile, and a couple of realizations hit me. I might not be using my time as effectively as I thought, and I might not have goals and their processes set out clearly enough. So it was at that moment I decided to stop all my activities for the week and focus on a book that my friend Jet gave me. I was already a couple of chapters in, and I start to feel that this book might actually be the enlightenment to my realizations. So basically this book teaches me how to get more work done while maintaining a social life. Okay, so right now I'm gonna briefly talk about this book to give you guys a gist of what deep work actually means. So this book is called Deep Work by NEWPORT, and it basically has two parts to it. The first part is the idea, where he tries to sell you the idea of deep work, and the second part is the rules, where he teaches you how to apply deep work. So in the first chapter of part 1, he explains why deep work is valuable. This is because in order to thrive in a new economy, two core abilities are mandatory. Number 1, the ability to quickly master hard things. And number 2, the ability to produce at an elite level in both quality and speed. So to sum up how deep work helps you produce at an elite level, take a look at this equation. High quality work is time spent times intensity of focus. So this formula is essentially how you do more in less time. In the second chapter of part 1, Cal states that deep work is rare, especially in the ambiguous field of knowledge work. This is due to the fact that we embrace distraction in the workplace. It is hard to measure the value of regularly checking your inbox and constantly staying connected. And that is the metric black hole. So without clear feedback on the impact of our behaviors on the bottom line, we will tend towards behaviors that are easiest in the moment, like getting distracted by shallow work. In addition, without clear indicators of what it means to be productive, most people will turn back to just being busy in a visible manner. This is what the writer calls getting busy as a proxy for productivity. So assuming that most people will continue to embrace distraction, depth and deep work will be exceedingly rare. In the third chapter of part 1, NEWPORT studies Rick Ferrer, a blacksmith, whose job requires him to be in a state of depth for most of his day. A slip in concentration can ruin dozens of hours of work. It is the challenge of crafting the sword and the joy of its completion that Rick Ferrer finds great meaning in his profession. So according to science writer Winifred Gallagher, she predicts that if you spend enough time in a state of depth, whether you're a blacksmith or computer programmer, your mind will understand your world as rich and full of meaning due to the gravity and sense of importance inherent in deep work. In addition, such concentration hijacks your attention apparatus, preventing you from noticing smaller and less pleasant things that populate our lives. In the second part of the book, Cal describes 4 rules to execute deep work. They are styles of working deeply, embrace boredom, quit social media, and lastly, drain the shallows. The first one is the monastic philosophy, where you focus all your time on deep work, minimizing or eliminating shallow obligations. The second scheduling philosophy is the bimodal philosophy, where you split your time on an annual, monthly, or weekly basis for deep and shallow work. The third type of scheduling is rhythmic philosophy. This is where you divide your day for deep work and shallow work. Example, morning for deep work, evening for shallow work. And lastly, we have the journalistic philosophy for deep work scheduling. This is where you fit deep work wherever you can in your schedule. However, this is for more seasoned deep workers, as it requires a change of state of mind quickly from shallow work to deep work and back to shallow work again. So it's not recommended for deep work starters. In the second rule, embrace boredom, the writer tells us to prioritize our downtime, to give it a schedule, as it improves our thinking and replenishes our ability for deep work. NEWPORT's third rule for deep work is to quit social media. He generally describes social media as something big company invest a lot of money and research to effectively rob you of your time and attention to be given to paying advertisers. He believes that one shouldn't simply just quit social media, as it proves to be an invaluable tool for the current climate of knowledge work. The writer suggests being more selective about the tools that we use. So it basically advises you to plot a graph that states positive effects and negative effects, and then he wants you to list down all your social media that you use, and if you get both positive, affecting your personal and your professional life, then you should keep it. But if this social media tool, right, does nothing or it's just like a neutral, right, he suggests you to get rid of it. Okay, so this is the last rule for deep work, to drain the shallows. This is where you first identify deep and shallow work. Here are some examples. From there, you do up a schedule prioritizing deep work. So the writer also understands two core issues when scheduling your day. Number one, you incorrectly estimate how long tasks will take. And number two, new tasks arrive and displace your original plans. So the key thing about scheduling is not about following your timetable 100% through. It's about editing when there's a problem arise or when there's a distraction. Still trying your best to follow as much of the timetable as possible. But the most important thing is to keep accountability for every single minute that you spend, so you can be sure that you are engaging in as much deep work as possible. Or keep yourself accountable for the amount of times that you have been distracted in the entire day. Okay, so these are just some of the general points of the book. Another reason why I highly recommend you to read this book is because the writer Cal Newport is able to diffuse any biasness that I have in my mind when I read his argument with a second counter argument right in the next sentence. So it completely blows my mind. So this was Deep Work by Cal Newport, and I'll see you guys on the next vlog.